Hello, everybody, and welcome to what I hope is actually functioning. So, if there are a bunch of past broadcasts, I'll delete them. Don't worry about it. There's been a lot of tests going live, but right now, oh, hey, look! As soon as we went live, Ollie started dropping frames at 1% now, but better than where I was.
So many faces they need to render.
Oh God, I know. They're also gorgeous too. We need that high def. Yeah. All right. So sorry about the super crazy delay, and so therefore a super short stream. If anybody's even here, um, I was having Comcast issues. They asked me to power cycle. So, where were we last session? Let's remember that. You guys had spoken to your Volus. You were able to track him down and convince it. Well, you spoke to other friends as well to kind of get like little legs up here and there. Like for instance, one of the pilots, make sure that they don't attack you. You know, things like that.
We kidnapped a guy.
You did kidnap a person too.
I mean, did we kidnap him?
I mean,
We didn't
He
really.
was
kidnap him.
willing. It's not kidnap if they're willing.
you know,
His
you
friends
know,
definitely weren't at first.
no.
I mean, your neighborhood friendly Krogan.
So you grabbed this techie person, brought them into space with you, and were able to eventually have a conversation with the ship that the Volos is on. You're able to get them to come to terms to meet with you. Clearly, you had to like lay all your cards out and be like, "We're not doing any BS here. We're not pulling any tricks. You're not gonna shoot you." And you did exactly that. You trusted the moment, and it kind of worked out. The person that actually got to go forward and speak with him was Cattle, correct? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
The
sure,
person
that
that's actually meant to do the talking.
did the talking. Look at that. So Cattle went and spoke with him, and you found out things weren't exactly as you had seemed, but kind of what you were expecting on some fronts. So he had told you, listen, the people that are trying to kill me are old friends of mine, or at least old people I had contracts with before. And the reason why things are kind of going sour is because I came to the realization we were actually working for a not so kind human organization, and I wanted out. I failed on one little mission, and they wanted me dead. I wanted out, and so now they're trying to get me dead. You were hired for that. However, I can give you more money than you could possibly imagine. He can actually give you a very imaginable number.
Yeah.
For you to turn around and go blow up their base, and offered you money up front to be able to get started, and so on and so forth. You went back and returned the mission saying he was dead. DED. He was not dead. And
We even found his used suit.
what was that?
We even found his used suit among the rubble.
That's right. And you're good to go. You were able to prove everything, get your monies, good to go. And so where things kind of finished off last session was, do we buy a ship? No, we're not buying a ship. We're not buying a ship. That's not happening. So you were thinking about buying a ship, but that's not happening. Instead, it's how do we get this bucket of bolts to land on Pluto to find the base and do what you got to do. It's literally called Cerberus Base.
Well, I mean, I think we did have Tremi at the end go like, but I don't know if that was meant to lead to a thing or not.
Oh, she did say more or less like she got a ping on her thing, and she was very interested in what that ping had to say. So why don't we pick it up with you guys were heading back to the actual, what's that place called? Omega. You had already received your money. You were heading back to Omega. Omega is a safe route for you guys. And so you were making your way back to Omega. And go to land. Rick, do me a favor. Roll me an intelligence. What's it called? Intelligence. Oh, my brain's not working. I'm sorry, Rick. Intelligence program? No. Intelligence perception. There we go.
Intelligence. God damn it.
It's been a while. You know what I'm saying? Okay. And reveal that right there. You got a 7. So with your intelligence perception of 7, as you're approaching the base, you can see that there are a few different ships that scan you guys as you're heading there, but not like the typical like, oh, as you're getting closer, people kind of check out who's around them. It's one of those like there are a number of different ships that are clearly watching you. When you notice that, you can roll me a no intelligence check or lore intelligence check.
That's decent.
Yeah, with your 9, you're able to identify that these ships seem to be Blue Sun's ships.
Ah, yeah. They would scan us, wouldn't they? I make sure to let
Are they
Tremilia
our
know that.
friends or not? I don't remember.
Yes, you're
Well, we
working
did
for them?
come back and we're like, hey, we
Yes.
killed the guy you told us to kill. And they're like,
With
you
proof.
fucking what?
Yeah.
With proof.
They sent you...
And they did offer to put us on payroll, and we were kind of like, nah, maybe not.
I
Yeah.
mean, not just yet. We have some.
We're gonna go
We're
strippers
not
and
ready
booze
to-
first.
We're not ready to commit yet.
Yeah. It was one of those, like, in a video game, to, like, proceed to mission. At this point, there is no turning back, and you're like, not yet.
There's a couple
decided for
side
some
quests I want to do.
So, anyways, you guys are proceeding to the base. When you get to the base, obviously you were curious about what information Tremy had. So, your travels there, which is so many hours. Did you want to have a conversation with her about that, Rick?
Well, I'm not sure if she would bring anything up. Like, I imagined we'd be sitting a lot in the bridge, and if she has a Turian vessel on her mind that might actually be reasonably within our grasp.
She doesn't bring anything up, so if you want to bring something up, you're welcome to do so.
That's unusual, man. Yeah, I would definitely inquire.
Oh,
Only
wow.
served,
Okay. So I'm just noticing a whole bunch of things popping in. Raul's having fun with his points. So my apologies. So you are as you're like approaching as you're approaching Omega, and you said you don't bring it up or anything. That's perfectly fine. Once you guys land the ship and dock and everything, and you're kind of going to go your separate ways, she's actually very quick to leave. You know what I mean? She grabs her stuff, grabs her bag, gets her guns going. She's like, all right, I'll see you guys later. Just have my pay wired over to me. And she kind of goes, hopping off of the ship and into the base. What do you guys do? Anything specific you want to take care of in Omega? Actually, there was something that you needed to get, which we discussed last session. Do you need a reminder?
There's a
Mining drill
reason
spikes
why we're here.
things.
Yeah.
The mining spikes, exactly. So, just as a reminder to how it works in Omega, there is an extremely hard shell outside of the meteor that eventually became Omega Base. Omega is or at least was an enormous amount of ezo inside of this incredibly hard-shelled platform. Nobody was ever able to crack it for like ages. It took like forever for the Protheans to be able to crack it open for it to be mined. You guys eventually came along when your cycle came around. You guys came along and already had the cracked open egg, and instead of building bases off of it to mine into it. But even on the inside, it's incredibly hard to cut through the various types of rock and metal that are inside there. So they have these ridiculous mining spikes that are more or less designed to superheat and then explode the areas to be able to get to the ezo. These are incredibly powerful mining spikes, and you needed to get your hands on some of those.
Question. Something we could be looking up on the way there. Size of these things?
Size doesn't
Are
matter,
we
baby.
talking cargo hold, or mount on ship, or ship isn't big enough, or trail behind the ship on a chain?
So
How
kind
does
of
it work?
so these actually are you have to imagine them because the way that they actually literally look like are humongous railroad spikes. But when I say how like humongous railroad spikes, they're about the size of like an iron like an I-beam. So if you were to put them into the hull of your ship, you could fit them there. It's one of those, they'd run across almost the whole length of the hull and take up like a section, because the way that they usually get hammered into something is like a large hammer smashes it into causing an explosion. That's the big ones. There are smaller ones too for doing like little more finite areas, smaller
We need to crack a
explosions.
planet. We need a big one.
Well, yes, you need to crack
planet.
but what you're cracking into is ice.
Planetoid.
Yeah, planetoid, right? But it's ice. So
Still-
obviously being superheated, it might work, multiply. But you want the big ones, right? That's the plan. So the question isn't just getting the big ones, it's also how are you going to use them once you get them. What you're able to find out pretty quickly is how these things work is usually they get driven into the ground by ginormous like tripod machinery that kind of gets put over them. They get spiked in. Once they have them all set up in place, the way to actually charge them, set them off, is very, very simplistic. It's actually one of those things where if it was sitting inside your hull of your ship, it's so easy to set them off with just like the right chemical mixture that triggers the metals, that you'd be afraid that they'd explode if it wasn't for the fact that they have to be armed first. And they get armed
we
as
were
part of the
now
process of
afraid-
spiking. So
I was gonna say, be afraid of like someone getting on the ship and just be like beep boop beep.
the process of spiking, the hard drive hammer into the back of them, the pressure all around them, all that stuff is what arms it. So it can't
That's
be
good.
accidentally armed.
I was imagining we were gonna fly over Pluto and drop them, but the fact we have to actually land and spike them probably is sensible.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to make things slightly more difficult.
You described the mining spikes. Oh no, it was a flyby in my head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
How about them
technically,
nukes, though?
technically speaking, you could drop if you could have it perfectly balanced so it fell and it didn't flop, which the way gravity works and the way that aerodynamic things work, theoretically it could land into the ground. You would still need the back hit trigger to it though, and then all you have to do is airdrop the Krogan onto each one.
I was just like,
cannonball!
we're just going to send Frank to ride one.
Backup plan.
How he learned to stop worrying and learn to love the drill.
Awesome. So go ahead. I'm sorry, you were saying, Ollie?
So we can store them in the hold.
Yes, you can.
That was the question. I
Gotcha.
didn't know the science.
Gotcha.
Would they be obvious when we get scanned?
They're. I mean, if they're scanning for something, yes, they're big.
Yeah.
Very big spikes.
I was afraid of that much, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we did get 500,000 up front for that, so
Yep.
I imagine I will be chasing down contacts to try and figure out where can I get one of those.
Perfect. Okay, so you're going to be taking care of that. Is anybody going to be helping out Rick, or do other people have their own plans?
Why don't I try to rig something up to hide those from the scanners then once we get them?
That seems like a great idea.
It's actually a brilliant idea. I like it. Awesome.
I'm going to look for a new ship to buy.
Okay.
I guess I'll be bodyguarding cattle then. That seems to work pretty well on Omega.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's like luck is working in your favor, and you're like, you know what? Let's not fuck with the mojo. You know what I mean?
It's also,
working.
on Omega, your bodyguard being a sexy space lady kind of is a little more talkative than being Frank.
That's right. Your response to a hostile situation can either be like pew pew or do what you got to do.
Yes. Also, I don't
That's just
need
how
to
Ollie
wear...
is,
I-
typically.
I also won't look like a bodyguard because I've got my chameleon armor, so I just look like a consort.
Damn it! I thought you were gonna say because I got that outfit I picked up.
I don't need it now. I can turn it into an outfit.
So, anyways, yes, you can look like a consort. So, you guys are gonna go on. So, why don't you do me a favor, Kettle? Why don't you roll me your contacts check? Before you do so, Ollie, are you going to assist him in his charisma?
I think I'd rather do a different connect check
Sure.
later. You'd be looking for very different people, and it's very similar roles. He's better at it by like a point or two, I think.
Sure. So you're gonna kind of like see if there's any holes and try to fill those in. All right. So why don't you do your charisma connect check there, sir?
We do both at the same time.
No, just Rick, so you can see if you can fill his holes later. So you, Rick, get a 10 on your connect check. That's a pretty solid check. You're actually tearing up. I expect your next roll to be like maybe a 12 or 13 and then natty ones.
I'm building up to a climax here.
Yeah, to drop off. So anyways, with your double 10s, with your double 4s, your 10, you actually are able to find out a contact that you know that works inside the mining region of this. Now, he's not just like some random guy that swings a hammer. or works a machine that collects ezo. He's actually somebody that works higher up, that does like a lot of the like a foreman kind of work, like the overseeing of things, so on and so forth, the shipping coming and going, keeping track of like the men. You don't know his exact job because it's one of those things where you knew you needed him if you needed him, but you didn't have to know. You're gonna get to know him now.
Yeah.
He is another Solarian, actually. His name is going to be Bastilian. I always give him a moment because he always writes it down.
All right. Yeah.
Okay. So with Bastilian, you know that he, the reason why he maintains this job is because he is known for siphoning, like every once in a while the numbers in the books change ever so slightly, and he always like stores up small amounts of ezo and he sells it off to the side. So that's what you know of him. That's something that you've, like dirt that you have on this person. This is not a contact that you're like, oh, this is an old friend of mine. This is a contact that you found dirt on along the way, and you're like, he probably has no clue who I am, but I know enough about him for it to matter. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
So Bastilian is somebody that works in the regions of the mining area where there's effectively no ezo left. You have to like really scrape at the bottom to get some stuff there. Other people have the jobs where there's larger deposits, and because of that, that area tends to be, because there's less workers there, because there's less oversight over an area like that, which is how he gets away with what he does. That means there's a lot more other activities that happen there as well. It's a bit more nefarious in the mining region. So, if you would like to roll me a lore intelligence check, please, Rick.
Sure thing.
Because of your connect check. Okay, so you just know that there's nefarious activity happening over there, but any details beyond that, you just don't know. And we'll stop it at that for now. So while you're heading over there, just look at something over here. While you're heading over there to check that out, Rick, I did want to let you know that the one of your old contacts, kind of that you had reached out to after you had been given your last mission, gets back to you with a bit of information that you were had asked for. When you look down, you can actually see that your old contact actually sent you information saying, and here's all that information. Literally, you open up the message and it starts off with, hope all's well. Don't get shot out there. Here's the information that you're looking for about the planetoid Pluto. I hope these schematics help you out. And when you just like a quick cursory glance, you can actually see these tons of satellite images that have been held by the various Earth governments and by what's it called, the Alliance, up until this point. So you're talking like all sorts of scans of everything that's going over there, and because of that, it's also planned like where it was that they had planned landings over the course of time, all the records of those landings, where the best places are, weather, like the weather, how the weather works there, good timing of that, but also most importantly, little bits of information of things that have been transported there many years ago. So it's kind of one of those like, okay, this is some serious good information. It's a positive scout report that your friend had sent to you. Okay? You're able to make your way to go meet with Bastilian. He's in the tunnels. Always coming with you. Do you want to contact your friends or no?
I would definitely let Entourage know where I'm going.
I'm with you.
And yeah, I guess I'll let the other people on the ship know as well that we're going to take care of the mining drills. We'll be
I
here
just
if
like
shooting happens.
I was like the idea of we're walking somewhere and just like, you're going to go take care of the mine drills. I'm like, I know, yes, we are. Going this way.
I mean, I'm not just going to take you somewhere and like,
No,
oh, by the
I
way,
know,
we're going
it's
over
just,
here.
It's just the way it happened.
This place is also haunted by dead Protheans.
It's like when in a TV show people are clearly walking somewhere, but because the way it's edited, they're explaining it on the way. It's like they clearly must have said where they're going before. You just like in the car already. What's going on?
Yeah.
It's like that situation.
I love it when in TV and movies and whatnot they do the whole. I hate when it goes to 0 kilobytes per second up to over 4,000. All right, so I love it. I hate it in TV shows and stuff like that when they just do we're going to explain exactly what's going on as though we don't already know what's going on, just so the viewers can keep up with our poorly laid out plot. So, Rick, you guys are heading there.
Cool.
Okay. You didn't call in Crack, so it's just the two of you. So, you guys go to meet up with Bastilian. It's pretty easy to find out where he is. Like I said, it's kind of like one of those. You walk up, it's a combination of asking somebody and, checking the information that you already had before, stuff like that. So you do finally come up to find Bastilian. And Ollie, if you wanted to use that connect check at some point in time, please feel free to let me know if something like inspires you.
I don't think I need it yet.
Okay, cool. So Bastilian, finding him was considered relatively easy. When you get there, he is literally overseeing a crew of 12 people doing their work. The miners are almost all Vorsha. There's also one human and one, God, my brain's not working at the moment, bird people. Oh my God. Turian, thank you. Oh my God, Jesus. So there's only really one bird people. So Turian, so there's only one and one Turian down there as well. So they're mining, but when I say they're mining, there's literally 3 Vorsha that are like working hard right now. There's another Vorsha that's like kind of working, and the rest of them are sitting around and playing cards, including Bastilian sitting around and playing cards.
Are there any cameras in the area?
Do me a favor, roll me a perception, wisdom, for if you're using your eyes, or a electronics intelligence if you want to check with your scanner.
I'll go for electronics intelligence because that doesn't resort to a -2.
I shall do it with my eyes. I shall assist.
Sure.
Eyes. But I don't need to though, because you did the good rolls.
I mean, you also did a good roll.
Yeah, you guys both rolled really well. So you do find out that there are, in fact, cameras in the area. Cameras that are lined up and whatnot to see anybody that's coming or going and to watch the areas that are being worked. You can see there's a camera directly on the people that are working right now. There are other cameras about, but now that you've noticed them, you can see that if you choose to, you can make your travel between where you are and where they are a little more inconvenient and completely avoid them.
Yeah,
So
I
is
would
there
like
no
to.
camera on the guys playing cards?
Correct.
That's what
Okay,
I wanted
good
to
to
know.
know.
He's a man.
I'm gonna take the path that leads to us not being in the camera's view at all times.
Okay, I'm going to actually allow you guys, because you rolled very well on that one, to give me a stealth dexterity check to get over there, but it's a 3d6 drop lowest one.
Hey, give me a second.
That's passable.
Mm-hmm.
I'm checking my modifiers. Yeah, 7 is fine.
Okay, you guys are good.
We get
You're able
chat
to do that, no problem. Could you do me a favor, Frank? You're at 4 points to the pool of luck for me. All right, awesome. So you are able to sidestep the cameras to the best of your ability. You believe you sidestep the cameras at least, and make your way over to where the people are playing cards. Now, did you also want to stealth your way to them so they don't know you're approaching, or you don't care about that?
No, I don't really care about that.
Okay.
It would look very shifty if we did.
If you stepped out of the shadows and be like, "Hi, we're here now. I'm Batman." Okay, cool.
Let me sniff your armpits.
Strange. So you guys come walking out. When they see you coming out, they they look over your way. When they see you walking in, they don't think too much of a Solarian and an Asari walking in. It's one of those, you could see one of them reaches over and grabs what looks to be a mining drill, but the mining drill is probably also a very scary weapon. And you can see that Bastion himself actually reaches and unclips so he can easily grab his gun, because he does have a gun on him. And another person kind of reaches over and grabs his pike that he has for mining, which again, this isn't just a piece of metal onto a piece of wood that you swing. This is clearly a super high-tech, very scary thing that he's holding. Everybody else just kind of doesn't seem interested as they continue playing their cards. While they're looking up and distracted, one of the Vorsha, kind of reaches over and grabs a few of the items off of the table and slides it back. Nobody seems to notice that it happens.